Hello guys, I welcome all my intelligent students to my channel Excelsior Academy 1228, myself Dr. Ruby Singh. So as we were doing crop production management as chapter 1 of class 8 CBSE, so this is another session. So in the previous session we were talking about the agriculture practices and we discussed about the soil preparation and how to do the seed sowing, sorry for that. Now, I would like to request all my students who are interested and liking my channel, please like, subscribe, and please hit the bell icon so that you get all the updates from my side and you don't miss anything. So one thing I would like to emphasize about my channel is that I am discussing each and every topic from your textbook, including the activities with neat diagram and explanation. So you don't miss any update, you don't miss any topic which you don't understand or any concept. So just like as you're studying from your school teachers. So please take the opportunity and please like my channel. So let's move on to the next topic. So we were talking about the soil preparation and seed sowing. The third step which comes in our agriculture practices is adding manure and fertilizers. So what is manure and fertilizers? So substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. So what you have to understand over here is that these two categories of manure and fertilizers are different, but they serve the same purpose. यानी कि दोनों का ही काम है कि plant और crop का cultivation growth अच्छा हो. So manure over here is the organic substance. It is natural. यानी कि we don't use any chemicals over here. And in the case of fertilizer, it can be organic and inorganic. It can be synthesized. So they are synthesized mainly in the industries. And later we are going to talk about these fertilizers. So certain examples are urea, NPK, where NPK stands for नाइट्रोजन फॉस्फोरस एंड पोटेशियम. सो जैसे जैसे आप आगे बढ़ेंगे हायर क्लासेस में जाएंगे आप डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली दिस नाइट्रोजन फॉस्फोरस एंड पोटेशियम आर प्लेइंग की रोल इन दी प्लांट ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे मैं अभी आपको बता देती हूँ, फॉस्फोरस, पोटेशियम, नाइट्रोजन ये सब आपके बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक ऑफ सेल्स हैं. जैसे कि जो डीएनए बनते हैं, प्रोटीन बनते हैं, इन सब में आपको नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस एंड पोटेशियम लगता है. So coming back to the manure and fertilizers, so soil supplies minerals and nutrients to the crop essential for the plant growth, and continuous growing of crops makes the soil poorer in the certain nutrients. So जैसे farmers एक crop cultivation के बाद लगातार अगर उसको grow करता जा रहा है तो क्या होता है, there is a point at which the soil loses its fertility. तो इसलिए हमें ऊपर से manure या fertilizer add करना पड़ता है, and this process is called manuring. So therefore the farmers who have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with the nutrients, and this process is called manure. Improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. So ये हम नहीं चाहेंगे कि किसी भी farmers के खेत में weak plants हो, because if the plants are weak you won't get any fruits or any seeds so that he can sell in the market. So that's why we need a good source of manure and fertilizers in order to have a healthy yield. Now, how manure are prepared? So they are the organic substance which are obtained from the decomposition of the plant and animal waste. So यहाँ पे कैसे रहता है, किसान and आसपास के लोग क्या करते हैं, एक पिट बनाते हैं and उसमें चाहे गड्ढा हो सकता है या फिर सीमेंटेड पिट हो सकता है, उसमें आप एनिमल वेस्ट, प्लांट वेस्ट जैसे कि आपके घर में जो सब्जियां आती हैं उनके छिलके वो सब फेंके ना और इन सबको पिट में डाल दें. एनिमल वेस्ट में काऊ डंग आ जाता है या जो भी जो वेस्ट मटेरियल्स रहते हैं चिकन के या गोट के, वो आप सब ना फेंके और इस पिट में डाल दें. And you allow it to decay. So after decomposition, what happens? It gets converted into manure. आप same चीज को लेके आप उसको खेतों में छिड़क सकते हैं. So farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. Now it has to be open because it needs oxygen by the organisms, microorganisms, which actually convert these waste into the manure. So decomposition is caused by some microorganism. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. So you see that we provide these supplements, feed, greens and forage, water to our cattle. And once they feed on that and they provide the excreta, like feces and bedding, so that can be used to convert into manure. Now coming to the efficacy of fertilizer, यहाँ पे हम क्या देख रहे हैं कि whether the usage of fertilizer is better than the manure or not. So let us do an activity which is very well explained over here. So you see that we have taken a sprouted moong dal. So you can also take either moong dal or you can take chana dal also. It's just a simple experiment. Okay, so what you have done, you have soaked for overnight in the water. Overnight soaking you have done. So what happens? Sprouts अगले दिन तक तैयार हो जाते हैं. So it means what? These seeds got germinated. So they are germinated. Now you take these seeds and divide into 3 pots over here, A, B and C. So what do you see over here? In the case of A, you have added manure, and in the case of B, you have added urea, and in this case nothing. It's only simple water. Okay, nothing else is added. So after some time, what do you see? So in all the 3 containers, same amount of water and soil has been added. There is no other difference. The only difference is that in the case of A, it is manure, B में आपका fertilizer है और C में आपने कुछ add नहीं किया है. थोड़े दिनों बाद आप क्या देखेंगे? What will be your observation? You will see that in the case of C, there is less growth, as you have not added anything into it. It's only the plain germinated seeds and water. And now when you compare A and B, so what do you see? The growth in the case of B container is high. That is, it is more. So we know that in the case of B, it was urea, a fertilizer. So this shows that the application of fertilizer is more efficient. So it's an efficient fertilizer. So one example right now we have learned is urea. The others are potash, NPK, ammonium sulfate. So many other examples are there of fertilizers. Remember, these fertilizers are chemically synthesized in industries and it has really helped farmers. So from this experiment, it is clear that it helps in the growth of plant. So fertilizers are chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrient manufactured in factories. Examples, urea, as just now we have discussed, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, where NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So this is the example of NPK. You can see that how farmers are easily, throwing into the field, and after some time you can see a very beautiful green fields are ready because it has helped in the growth and development of the plants. Now, anything which goes against the nature, whether it has been synthesized chemically in the industries, apart from having the advantages, it also have the disadvantages. So right now we have seen the advantages of usage of fertilizers, that it helps in the growth and development of your crops in the field, right? But now we'll also see that what are the disadvantages of using fertilizers as well. So the use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize, as we have already discussed. But अब क्या होता है, जब आप ज्यादा फर्टिलाइजर यूज करते हैं तो उसके क्या परिणाम हो सकते हैं? फर्स्ट थिंग इज इट मेक्स द सॉइल लेस फर्टाइल. सेकेंड, इट इज ऑल्सो द सोर्स ऑफ वाटर पोल्यूशन. क्यों? बिकॉज जब आप फर्टिलाइजर्स ऐड करते हैं उसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप होता है इरिगेशन का, जहाँ पे वाटर सप्लाई करते हैं. और जैसे ही वाटर सप्लाई करते हैं, इफ देयर इज एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर, क्या होगा? एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर आपका सामने की किसी कैनाल या झील या नदी से मिक्स हो जाएगा ना, वहां पे जो एक्वाटिक लाइफ होती है, देन इट गेट्स अफेक्टेड. सो दिस इज द वे इट कॉजेस वाटर पोल्यूशन. सो देयरफॉर इन ऑर्डर टू मेंटेन द फर्टिलिटी ऑफ द सॉइल, we have to substitute fertilizers by organic manure or leave the field uncultivated in between two crops, which is also called fallow land. Now, यहाँ पे क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है कि आप फर्टिलाइजर ज्यादा यूज भी नहीं कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज अभी हमने पढ़ा है जैसे कि सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी कम होती जाती है. तो उसका अल्टरनेट तरीका क्या है? आप इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग फर्टिलाइजर्स आप मैन्योर यूज करो. बट हमें पता है मैन्योर उतना अच्छा यील्ड नहीं देगा जितना अच्छा फर्टिलाइजर्स देते हैं. दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या है कि आप फील्ड को अनकल्टिवेटेड छोड़ दो 1-2 साल के लिए, बट हम ये भी जानते हैं कोई भी फार्मर्स अपना फील्ड अनकल्टिवेटेड नहीं छोड़ेगा बिकॉज उसको बहुत बड़ा लॉस होता है। तो इसके 2 तरीके हैं जो हम आगे भी डिस्कस करेंगे कि कैसे नुकसान ना पहुंचा के और कैसे हम सॉइल फर्टिलिटी बरकरार रख सकते हैं। So before moving on to that topic, let's talk about eutrophication. Now, when there is a excess fertilizer in the water and which moves and reaches to the sea or river, it causes eutrophication. The process is called eutrophication. And we also know that if we use repeated application of fertilizers in the fields, there are certain heavy metals like arsenic, cadmium, etc. They are present in the soil. They also get into the vegetables and fruits. इसलिए हम कहते हैं जब भी हम घर में सब्जियां लाएं उनको अच्छे से धोएं, क्योंकि जब ये फर्टिलाइजर्स या पेस्टिसाइड यूरिसाइड डाले जाते हैं ये सब आपके फ्रूट में रहते हैं। अगर आप इनको अच्छे से नहीं धोएंगे ये आपके शरीर में जाएगा, शरीर में जाके टॉक्सिसिटी कॉज करेगा एंड आपको बहुत सारी हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकती हैं। नाउ द यूट्रोफिकेशन। सो यूट्रोफिकेशन आप यहाँ पे इतना सिंपल से समझ लीजिए कि आपके जो रिवर्स रहते हैं या लेक हो गए जहाँ पे एक्सेसिव वाटर मिक्स हो जाते हैं, तो हियर यू कैन सी दैट इट्स गुड, यहाँ पे गुड प्लेन वाटर इज देयर, बट व्हेन यू सी द एक्सेस ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स, अब एक्सेस ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर मतलब एक्सेस ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स जो रहते हैं वो आपके रिवर में या लेक में चले जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से क्या होगा, देयर विल बी अ मोर फास्टर ग्रोथ ऑफ द एल्गे एंड प्लांट शेडेड बाय द एल्गे। सो व्हाट विल हैपन, इतना ज्यादा न्यूट्रिएंट्स होगा उतना ज्यादा पैदावार होगी एल्गे और प्लांट्स की, और जितना ज्यादा ये होंगे उतना ज्यादा जल्दी कंज्यूम करेंगे the availability of nutrients. So over a period of time what will happen, all the nutrients and minerals which are present in the water will get used up by these algae. Eventually what will happen, overpopulation, food source तो है नहीं, so they start dying. So once they start dying they get collected and then they start decomposing by the microbes. Now for microbes to decompose they use all the dissolved oxygen which is present in the water. So microbes respire and use of oxygen. So what will happen, the level of dissolved oxygen falls. So what will happen when there is no oxygen, animals, aquatic animals, they start dying because fish also use dissolved oxygen only to survive. So eventually overuse of nitrogenous fertilizers can harm the environment. Lakes and rivers can suffer from eutrophication. So here you can see that यहाँ पे normal अच्छा साफ पानी था and यहाँ पे you can see the green overgrowth of algae. Now when these algae are so much, what will happen, overpopulation of algae, they start dying, decomposing, and the microbes will start decomposing these dead algae, dead plants, and all the dissolved oxygen will be used up in order to decompose, eventually killing all the aquatic life. So this was all about eutrophication. It's really a very interesting topic. I hope this is clear. So let's move on to the next. Yes. So this is the alternate of keeping the fallow land. So instead of keeping the land fallow, it's better that the farmers can go for crop rotation. इसका मतलब ये है कि जब आपने एक बार गेहूं पैदा कर लिया है, दूसरे साल गेहूं ना करके कोई दूसरा क्रॉप कर ले या दूसरे सीजन में दूसरा क्रॉप कर ले, तो इससे क्या होगा, आपकी सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी भी बरकरार रहेगी एंड आपको आपका खेत खाली नहीं छोड़ना पड़ेगा। तो आइए देखते हैं कैसे। So crop rotation के application क्या है, that it helps in soil replenishment. This can be done by growing different crops alternately. For example, एक बार आपने legume plants जैसे कि beans, मटर, peanuts या groundnuts आपने grow कर लिए, next time आप कुछ ऐसा कीजिए जो root basis पे हो, जैसे कि onions, garlic, potatoes, etc. Then आप tomatoes कर लीजिए and then आप कोई भी green vegetables कर सकते हैं। तो इससे क्या होगा, different vegetables will help you in maintaining the nutrients and minerals in the soil. For example, farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. यानी कि एक बार आपने गेहूं पैदा कर ली है, next उपज जो होगी आपकी वो चना या मटर की होगी. So this will help in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Now it's very interesting why they are talking about the legume plants. So if you know about the legume plants, their roots have got nodules, a nodule kind of structure. You can see it over here. You can see over here these kinds of, ये आपका root है, यहाँ पे ये आपका proper root है of the plant and यहाँ पे ये root hair होते हैं, ठीक है। So कैसा होता है, सॉइल में बहुत सारे बैक्टीरिया रहते हैं, देयर इज वन पर्टिकुलर बैक्टीरिया कॉल्ड राइजोबियम. ये क्या करता है, ये इन्फेक्ट करेगा रूट हेयर को, एंड जिसकी वजह से आफ्टर इन्फेक्शन दैट हेयर विल बिकम अ रूट नोड्यूल. तो इसको हम नोड्यूल कहते हैं. फिर तो एग्जांपल्स क्या हो गए, मटर, चना, मूंग दाल, ये सब आपके लेग्यूम प्लांट्स हो गए. सो दिस इज हाउ द रूट नोड्यूल्स लुक. एक छोटे छोटे से नोड्यूल्स जैसे दिखेंगे. Now how exactly they help in fixing the minerals, that is by fixing the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrates which are used by the plants. So हम यहाँ पे देखिए, so here we have shown a one pea plant. Pea plant we have shown over here. So this is the root, and then these are the root hairs to which your rhizobia, this bacteria, it's a bacteria, they go and attach to these root hairs. ठीक है, उसके बाद वो इन्फेक्शन यहाँ पे कॉज करेंगे. इन्फेक्शन मतलब जिससे ये बैक्टीरिया, these bacteria will go inside the root. Okay, so an infection thread is formed through which bacteria enter the root cells. So once they're inside, what happens, they convert these root hairs into the nodules. Okay, now what they do is these bacteria, they take the atmospheric nitrogen and they convert into the nitrates. Okay, now these nitrates are used by the plants then as the source of nitrogen, and this is how they fix the nitrogen into the soil. So from atmosphere you directly get into the soil. So what is happening now, जो wheat पैदा करने के टाइम पे जो नाइट्रोजन यूज हो गए थे by the wheat or the paddy fields, in the next, that is during the crop rotation, these are now fixed by these bacteria from the atmosphere into the soil. So it means what, the next round of wheat crop cultivation can be done very easily. So these are the application of using legume plants in the next rotation. Okay, so what is the differences between fertilizer and manure? So already we know that fertilizers, they are inorganic soil, that is they are prepared in the factories. They does not provide humus to the soil, and they are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Now coming to the manure, it is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle, dung, human waste, plant residues, and it can be prepared in the fields, and it provides a lot of humus to the soil, and it is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. So what are the advantages of using manure? The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil, यानी कि soil में water hold करने की जो क्षमता है वो बढ़ जाती है. It makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy. Increase the number of friendly microbes. Now these microbes are good because they help in the maintaining the nutrients and minerals in the soil and improve the texture of the soil. So this was all about the manure. Yes, so welcome back. So right now you're talking about the addition of manures and fertilizers. So now we are going to talk about the irrigation. So along with the water absorption by the plant roots, it also absorbs the minerals and fertilizers. So water is important for seed germination, which does not take place under the dry conditions. So अभी हमने पहले देखा था किस तरह से हमने मूंग दाल और चना दाल को जर्मिनेट कराया पानी में सो करके, उसी तरह से हर सीड्स को जर्मिनेट करने के लिए वाटर की जरूरत होती है. It also helps to maintain the moisture of the soil for healthy crop growth. Fields have to be watered regularly. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक बार पानी दे दिया है तो दूसरी बार नहीं लगेगा. हर एक क्रॉप की अपनी अपनी वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो जो जिसको जैसा ज्यादा लगता रहता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन द केस ऑफ पैडी फील्ड्स, इट नीड्स सो मच ऑफ वाटर अगेन एंड अगेन. So the supply of water to crops at different intervals is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, and season to season. So just now, as I said, in the case of paddy field, it needs a lot of water. For example, in summer, the frequency of watering is higher because of the increased rate of evaporation of water from the soil and the leaves. तो आपको मालूम है गर्मी बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है, तो पानी आपको बार बार देना पड़ेगा to avoid the loss of water because of evaporation. So there are different sources of irrigation, जैसे कि wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. So basically हम जो खेतों में देखते हैं, आपने देखा ही होगा, it's maximum time they make use of the tube wells. So they make a very deep hole in the nearby field area, and from there they generate the motor and pump out the water. So there are different methods of irrigation. So let's discuss first the traditional method and then the modern method. So the traditional methods include the availability of water in wells, lakes and canals, which has been used by different methods. Cattle और human labor is used in this method. So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कितनी मेहनत लगती थी पहले किसानों को, या जानवर से करवाते थे या खुद लगे रहते थे, so that the entire field of the field can get the water. So there are these 4 different ways called mode, chain pump, dhekli and rahat. See over here in the figure, you can see that the farmer is again, taking the water from the well and then putting towards the field. In the second, you can see the chain pump is there. So over here, what they do is, there is a deep well and they continuously take the water and then throw towards the field area. Now in the case of dhekli also, you can see again just making use of the lever so that they can take the water from the well. And in the case of rahat, they make the animals to rotate the chain so that continuous supply of water can be pumped, can be pushed into the field of crops. So these were very difficult. So nowadays we have got very good methods and modern methods of irrigation called the sprinkler method and the drip system. So basically, if you go to your agricultural lands, आपके नाना नानी दादा दादी के घर में आप तब भी देखेंगे कि आज की डेट में भी मैक्सिमम इरिगेशन ट्यूबवेल से होते हैं. अगर आपके पास कोई गार्डन है, लॉन है, तो उसके लिए हम ये स्प्रिंकलर या ड्रिप सिस्टम यूज कर सकते हैं. So let's talk about the sprinkler system. So this system is more useful on the uneven land where sufficient water is not available. तो यहाँ पे कैसे है, आप देख सकते हैं फिगर में एक वेल है जहाँ पे आपने मोटर पंप लगाया हुआ है एंड डिफरेंट लाइंस ऑफ वाटर्स आर गोइंग, डिफरेंट लाइन ऑफ वाटर पाइप्स आर गोइंग. सो वेर एवर यू हैव गॉट योर क्रॉप फील्ड, जहाँ जहाँ आपके क्रॉप्स लगे हुए हैं, उसी के पास जाके स्प्रिंकल ऐसे पानी फेंकता है. ये आपने देखे होंगे काफी गार्डन्स में, कंपनीज के घर में आपने देखे होंगे जहाँ पे भी लॉन रहता है, उनको वाटर सप्लाई करने के लिए स्प्रिंकलर सिस्टम यूज करते हैं. तो आपका पानी ऐसे रोटेट करता हुआ फैलता हुआ जाता है हर जगह. So the perpendicular pipes have rotating nozzles on top and are joined to the main pipelet at regular intervals. So when water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump, it escapes from the rotating nozzles. तो ऐसे से वो स्प्रिंकल करता जाएगा और आपका पूरा फैलाता जाएगा, ऐसा लगता है जैसे बारिश हो रही हो. नेक्स्ट इज द ड्रिप सिस्टम. इसमें भी आप क्या देख सकते हैं, जहां जहां आपका एग्जैक्टली प्लांट है उसी के पास आके ये ड्रॉप वाइज पानी आपका वहां पे गिरता रहता है. तो इट इज बेस्ट फॉर वाटरिंग फ्रूट प्लांट्स, गार्डन्स एंड ट्रीज. सो ये हम बड़े बड़े खेतों में नहीं लगाते हैं, जो लोग हॉर्टिकल्चर करते हैं, यानी कि स्पेशली डिजाइन फॉर द प्लांट्स, गार्डन प्लांट्स एंड फ्रूट्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्ट्रॉबेरीज हो गए, वहां पे आप ये ड्रिप सिस्टम लगाते हैं. Now this is another topic, that is once the irrigation has been done, you have added manure, you have added fertilizers, now the problem of weeds comes. So what are weeds? They are the unwanted plants which grow along with your interested plants. And removal of these weeds are called weeding. We don't want weeds. Why? Because weeds will take entire nutrients and minerals from the soil which are supposed to be taken by your crops. तो इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आपके weeds ज्यादा ग्रो होंगे जो कोई नहीं खाता है. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि ये वीड्स जानवर खा लेके उनको उखाड़ के दे दिया जाए, नहीं खाते हैं, ये पूरे अनवांटेड हैं, जंगली होते हैं, इनका कोई हमें लाभ नहीं है. सो वीडिंग इज नेसेसरी बिकॉज weeds compete with the crop plants for the water, nutrients, space and light. Thus they affect the growth of the crop. And sometimes they're also poisonous to animals and human beings. So it's very important to remove from your cultivating crop. So what are the methods? So there are 3 methods over here. Khurpi, this is like different types of khurpis are available where the farmers have to manually remove. So जितना बड़ा खेत होगा उतने ज्यादा weeds होंगे, उतने बार farmers को जा जाके manually उसको dig करके निकालना पड़ता है. Then we have got the seed drill. तो ये कैसे रहते हैं, बेसिकली आपके जैसे हम सीड सो करने के लिए सीड ड्रिल यूज करते हैं, उसी तरह से वीड्स निकालने के लिए भी यूज करते हैं. Or otherwise spraying of certain chemicals called weedicide. So example is given over here, it is called 2,4-D, that is your that is your 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So it is an example of weedicide. Now the speciality of weedicide is that it only kills, of course, your weeds and doesn't affect the crops. So this is very important to remember also. Okay. So what is the best time for weeding? तो कोई भी प्लांट हो, अगर उसका ग्रोथ आपको इनहिबिट करना है, तो इट्स बेस्ट इज दैट बिफोर दे प्रोड्यूस एनी फ्लावर सीड्स, यानी कि वो स्प्रेड हो उससे पहले हमें उनको मारना होता है या निकालना होता है. So tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. यानी कि आपने सीड डालने से पहले एक बार निकाल दिया हो, ओके, और अगर सीड डाल दिए हैं, ग्रो होने लगे हैं, तो आपको उसके साथ साथ फिर मैनुअली रिमूव करना पड़ता है. तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं किस तरह से मैनुअली रिमूव किया जा रहा है. एंड दिस इज हाउ आप ट्रक में वीडीसाइड डाल दें एंड वो पूरे खेत में स्प्रेड करता जाता है. जब आपके पास बहुत एकर्स हेक्टर्स ऑफ फील्ड होते हैं एंड इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल आप मैनुअली जाके उसको करें, इसलिए हम क्या करते हैं, ट्रैक्टर्स अटैच मशीन रहते हैं, वो पूरे वीडीसाइड आपका स्प्रेड करते रहते हैं. Now, what are the precautions you should take when you spray the weedicide? See, again, it's a chemical, so you need to be very careful. Apart from killing the vegetative growth of the weeds, it will also affect the growth of the farmers who is spraying. So that person needs to be very precautious. So वो अपना चेहरा बंद करेगा, नाक बंद करेगा, and it will try to avoid the skin contact because बहुत सारे problems आ सकते हैं. For example, the high risk of infertility, maybe in future not able to produce offsprings, acute toxicity, for example eye irritation. जितना ज़्यादा chemicals आप expose करोगे उतना ज़्यादा आपको eye rashes आ सकते हैं. And a few reports have also shown that the chances of having cancer will also increase. So why to take such risk? इसलिए क्या करना चाहिए, जब भी वीडीसाइड या कोई भी chemicals आप spray कर रहे हैं, ग्लव्स पहन लीजिए, माउथ एंड नोज आप कवर कर लीजिए and wear a goggle so that it doesn't affect your eyes. So with this, I would like to stop this session, and in the next session, we will talk about the last practice of the agriculture, that is, so once your weeds are removed, your crops are ready, you're going to harvest and then store. So I hope you like the topic over here, and as I said, please subscribe and let me know if you have any doubts. Please comment how the video was, what are the improvements, or what are the other topics you would like to know about it. So I'm ready here to make new topics for you apart from the textbook. So till then, take care. Have a happy studying.